Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the back half of The Walking Dead Season 9 and the eventual release for The Walking Dead's first full-feature movie. We've got some new details surrounding the production in 2019. Alright, man, and spoiler warning, if you are not cut up for the Walking Dead television series, up to about the 5th episode, of course, because most of this is for Season 9, because this is mainly referring to the movies, okay? So we got some new details from Pollyanna McIntosh, who plays, of course, Jadis or Anne in the Walking Dead television series, and now most likely the Walking Dead movies. So she had said recently, I think it was a week or a couple weeks ago, that she wasn't sure if she was going to be doing the movies, and she hadn't heard anything, and so, it was reported online, and then we all kind of thought, like, okay, are they going to be working on it soon? What's going to be the deal? And so we got some updates, we got some details from her, and of course also from Scott Gimple, who it sounds like, based on what we're seeing here, is going to mainly be the mastermind of the movies. So it sounds like when they took him probably off of the original Walking Dead television series to replace him with showrunner Angela Kang, this may have been a part of it to, just further kind of build out these other Walking Dead properties, continue on Fear the Walking Dead, get things rolling and started for the movie, and then he's probably going to be the one who's namely going to be most responsible for the direction of the movie storyline and what we see happen in the movies. So it says here who starred as Jadis/Anne on The Walking Dead before abscondingly with a gravely injured Rick Grimes in a helicopter midway through Season 9, says, quote unquote, things are in process on the trilogy of Rick-led television movies being overseen by Chief Content Officer Scott Gimple. This was appearing at FanFest, and then it says here McIntosh said she can, quote, be very clear in assuming her involvement in the movies after admitting in November she knew little about the closely guarded project. Now it says we're going to see where Rick is, so she will be there, McIntosh said, adding she hopes to be involved. Things are in process right now. It's exciting. I'm not ready to leave her behind yet. So it sounds like she's in it. Sounds like we're going to most likely be seeing Jadis or seeing Anne in some capacity, even if maybe she's not in all three of the movies, because I don't know necessarily what you do with Anne/Jadis after maybe the first one. I think it makes sense maybe have her come in for the first one, have her be there for a little part of that, and then after that maybe she's killed off at the end of the first movie or something like that. But we have to remember she did save Rick's life, so she is a very important character, one of the most important characters in the series because she was able to do that. And we'll see how far through here in the movies she actually does, go. I would expect probably see her in the first movie, and then I'm not sure about the second and third because those ones probably will involve time skips, probably will involve different locations, and really who knows what's going to happen with those, and if we will ever see Rick reunited maybe in the third movie, with Michonne and the others. So then it says here that more of an understanding of the community that the helicopter group came from, and that I'm going with them. So we're going to get to see obviously where they're going and the group that she's heading with the A and the B. And then it says here, Gimple previously told Entertainment Weekly Lincoln will not be returning to the television series, and that Anne would be involved with at least the first movie in the planned trilogy, as she was aboard the helicopter now being piloted by to parts unknown. The movie will detail the vast mythology behind the well-equipped helicopter group and will bring with it answers about the A and B classification used on Rick, Negan, and Father Gabriel. That same group was responsible for the disappearance of Heath, of course, as well too, who was last seen in Season 7's episode Swear. The mystery surrounding the helicopter community that ultimately took off with Rick, now believed dead for 6 years on The Walking Dead, where he's mourned by brother Daryl, Michonne, and Judith and RJ, is a plot that has been quietly unfolding for years, mapped out by Gimple as a means of writing out Lincoln without killing off Rick Grimes. So as I'll say here, a solution to the problem that he can't always come back and do, the huge amount of workload every year that is required for the Walking Dead television series. So finding a way to get him out of the show, but not kill him off, to kill off the fan base, and bring us something different, which is the movies that will work for him, and they can do it on a different schedule, and it just works for everybody. Then it says here, quote, he was a little secretive, even with the writer's room, about what it was he did. Let me in on some of it at some point last year, showrunner Angela Kang told THR. So this is something that, if they're talking about last year, this is something that they probably knew was going to happen for a while, right? This is something with the movies and all that this probably wasn't like a bombshell revelation to them in May like it was to us online that Andrew Lincoln was going to be leaving. This is probably something that, and there have been articles saying back to season 4, Andrew Lincoln was asking about it. But at least here we're getting confirmation. This is something that's been in the works for a while. It's not something that just happened this year only. They were even talking about it last year and getting a few little details on what they were looking at. So that's cool to know. Then it says, quote, we went into this season with a pretty good knowledge about the intention behind the helicopter and where it would lead. It leads to that first Rick Grimes movie now being eyed for a 2019 production start. Now here's probably the most important part. It says, I am extremely hard at work on the first one right now and most likely filming next year, though I'm freaking out about deadlines right now, so I'm not going to tell you exactly when. It would only make me pass out, Gimple told Entertainment Weekly. Gimple added the movies would come sooner than later, noting the films would not be made on television schedules. Then it says here, this is going to be on feature schedules, and they're going to be big, so they're going to take a minute to make, he said. So this is really cool, and that's pretty much it for the end of the article and for the updates for us. So takeaways from this. They're starting in 2019 with the production. He's swamped, I would think, right now with trying to figure out this whole thing. It's not going to be just like a regular Walking Dead television series, couple of episodes, television schedule. Like maybe if you do, like they say they film about an episode a week, which is about 40 minutes or so with intro and outro and everything. So that would mean that to do a movie with 40-minute blocks, literally you could do like 2 or 3, because they do an episode a week, so you're talking like 2 or 3 episodes would be all it would be required to get you 40, and then maybe if you do a third, another 40, so that'd be 80, 120, so 120 minutes, so 2 hours. So literally, if they did it that way, they could film a movie in 3 weeks, if it was just like a few episodes, right? If it was the same kind of thing that they do with the regular television series in 3 episodes. But it's not. So it says here, this is going to be on feature schedules, and they're going to be big. So they're going to take a minute to make, he said. So with the deadlines and everything, and he's, trying to, I would think, coordinate this whole thing for filming it next year. So this is great news. It sounds like they're going to basically get started on this right away. And how long will it take to make? Will it be done in a year? We'll have to wait and see. It depends on a lot of things. But if it's going to be a big deal, it's going to be a big thing as things are going through here, and he's trying to put the pedal to the metal to get it out as soon as he can for us, maybe we can expect it 2020, maybe, which would be really cool. Could we see it next year, 2019? I doubt it, you know what I mean? Unless he's able to pull some wizardry and figure out a way to get it all done within, a few months and have it ready for the end of 2019, like this time next year, a year from now. I kind of doubt it. I would lean more towards 2020 at some point, but that's really great, because I was thinking that Andrew Lincoln might take a full year off, and then they'd finally start to produce it and film it in 2020, and then you'd see it in 2020, 2021. This way, since he's going through the 80-hour weeks or whatever he's doing right now to figure this whole thing out and coordinate the whole damn thing, and luckily it sounds like AMC has basically given him the keys to the keys to the kingdom to be able to do this for us, which is great. Thank you to them for believing in him and believing in the team there that's going to put this thing together. That's great to hear. Because I'm sure it's going to work out for him. You can sell it on DVD, you can sell it on Blu-ray, you can air it 100 goddamn times, you can do whatever you want with it. And if it's a big budget thing, if it's like a full feature film type of schedule and movie with editing and everything like that, and a good budget, then it'll be something where they can use it for many years to come, and it will stand the test of time as one of the coolest Walking Dead things they've ever done. So this is really cool. So happy to hear that they're really getting the pedal to the metal on this one, and they're going to try to do it as pretty much as soon as they can. And we might see Andrew Lincoln, start filming again, regular time, just on this feature film type of schedule versus the TV schedule that they usually do this upcoming year, 2019. So that's great news, and very excited to see how this whole thing turns out. But that sounds very promising. That sounds like something that's going to be off the charts amazing, and I'm so happy they did it. I'm so happy they didn't just kill Rick, because this is so much better, and the fact that they're getting it rolling already, this is awesome news for us fans that want to see Rick again. As Fanboy Editor said here, I want to include it, he says, still really miss Rick. Well, it sounds like, dude, you're not going to have to wait too long, because they're going to get rolling on that right away. Next year, they're going to start working on that damn thing, and then we'll probably see it the year after, so it's not too far off. It's Season 9 will finish up in the early part of 2019. Season 10 will start in the fall and then run through. And then probably around maybe before we see Season 11, we'll have the Rick movie. So that's awesome, or at least close to that. So that's great stuff. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you guys think about that. Awesome, man. And we got just a few more kind of comments or things to give our thoughts on, Q&As for today. Daryl's dog said, Trev, has any character death made you cry? Did Rick's? Well, his sort of death, right? I mean, there was, there was lots of character deaths throughout the series that were pretty emotional for me to see through, even dating back to the first season of the second season when Shane is killed off. That's kind of a sad one for me because I was a huge fan of Shane, and luckily they've brought him back a number of times, so that's been fantastic. Herschel's scene in the recent episode 5, when I saw that, I cried for his scene with Rick, because I thought that was, just very touching, especially considering that Scott is no longer with us, so that made that even more sad for me. There's so many times, man. There's so many deaths in the series that did make me cry as we watched through, but a lot of them can make me excited too. Like Jesus' death recently, it didn't make me cry. It just made me shocked, right? It was like, holy shit moments. That was crazy. There was an article online that said, Walking Dead, will Negan reunite with Lucille, or will Negan get another Lucille? If you guys didn't see it, also on Sunday night I did a reaction video to Negan in Tekken. He's going to be a playable character in Tekken 7. So if you missed that, you can watch it through. It's really fun for what they did for Negan, bringing him in as a fighting character in the Tekken 7 game. So that's really cool. But yeah, I think, you got to give Negan a Lucille in the back half of Season 9. He can go without it for a little while. He can use a rod or a pole or something for a little bit. But once he finds it bad, he has to reforge Lucille. Forged by fire. He has to find some barbed wire. He has to, reforge, and then he's got to, start bashing some heads to give her some of that, a nice coat, right? A nice bloody dark coat on Lucille. So yeah, Negan's gonna get another Lucille. I mean, there's bats everywhere, so it might not be the same one. I wonder if he'll be able to go out there and find the same one and just where exactly she is, if she's out in the final location where the ending spot for All Out War with the tree there and the glass, if you guys remember from Rick, and at the end of All Out War. So if she was just left there and out in the open, maybe he'll go and get her there. I'm not sure, but either way, that's going to be awesome to see. He hold her up, that's gonna be awesome. Sandra Wiley says, Trev, how did the Whisperers get their numbers? To me, would rather live in places like Kingdom, Hilltop, or Alexandria, living like the Whisperers do. I do love your channel. Look forward to watching every day. So thank you, Sandra. How do the Whisperers get their numbers? Well, people get desperate, in the zombie apocalypse. They get really desperate. They get chased by walkers. They have to find food all the time. They have to grow food. Other people try to take it from them. It's a hugely scarce type of situation where they just don't have enough. Resources are scarce. People get desperate, and people would be willing to do almost anything to survive given enough pain. So with the Whispers, it's like, sure, yeah, if you have a choice, you're going to pick the Hilltop or Alexandria or Kingdom over living in the dirt with the Whispers. But if you run into the Whisperers and you're in trouble and Beta saves you or Alpha and the others save you and offer you to join them, a lot of people are going to be like, what do I got to do? They're like, wear this, and no one will bother you. They're going to be like, it stinks. Okay, I guess I'll do it, right? You have food? Yeah, we got food. We got whatever. and people are going to be like, okay, I guess I'll do it, right? So even though they might not want to, they'll get to it eventually. Joey Lemon says, hey Trav, I saw an advertisement for Kranken spiced rum with Tom Paine in it. Thought that was awesome. Oh, that is awesome, man. I haven't seen that one myself, but I do like Kranken. I like Kranken. I've actually I bought it for my dad one year for his birthday. That's funny. It's good stuff. But the spices sometimes with dark rum, there's a couple of things with dark rum. Rum is my favorite, by the way. But rum can give you, the darker it is, the worse hangover it can give you. I read that online in an article, that the color of it, lighter alcohol is easier, like white rum is easier to the next day. So you get a worse hangover from darker alcohol, right? But the other thing is, with spice rum, it sometimes makes your stomach feel a little bit off. It kind of makes you feel full, but it gives you... It's got a unique thing to it. But I like Kranken. Kranken's really good, and I'm happy to hear that he's got. I didn't know about that, so that's really cool. See Tom Paine in it. I'll look out for that. Maybe I'll look that up. Daryl's dog petition now has over 50,000 signatures, so there's that. If anyone wants to sign the petition to save Daryl's dog, there's over 50,000 people who think Daryl should keep the dog. So we'll see if they go with that. And then finally, Jadavius Williamson said, King Ezekiel might survive Season 9. So, yeah, man, Ezekiel might survive Season 9, and I hope he does. I hope he does, and bring Carol some happiness for a while. Carol's always getting the short end of the stick. Anybody she cares about ends up getting killed. So I hope that Carol's loved ones this season get to survive on through, and we'll see what ends up happening with that. So let me know what you guys think about the Walking Dead television series getting, being under production, being planned, being written, being set up already. That is just incredible news. Really happy to hear it, and I think we all should say thank you to Gimple and I know guys, the Shredder. Thank you to the Shredder, and thank you to Andrew Lincoln for agreeing to do it, man, rather than just moving on from the role and doing that. This is awesome, man. This is a treat for Walking Dead fans that we get that versus nothing. So big time thank you to those guys for putting that together and doing it so fast. That's awesome to hear. That'll be it for today's video, guys. If you liked it, please thumb it up below, share favorite, and thank you all so much for subscribing. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys like the videos, and I'll keep them right on rolling for you guys. And I'll see you again soon. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See ya.